Hello everybody, welcome to VEDA Day 9. And today I'm going to finally talk about what I'd meant to talk about a couple days ago, and that's Dave Brockie. For those of you who don't know, which I can't imagine any of you don't, but if you didn't know, he was Odorous Urungus, the lead of the band Guar, which is, I've been listening to them since the late 90s, so half my life. And I've been going to shows of somewhere between 20 and 40. I lost count years ago, so I don't know exactly how many shows I've been to. But, you know, it's been a huge part of my life and a huge part of many of your lives, because I'm sure a lot of people I know are watching this right now. And hopefully I'll see you all at the Q. Because I definitely intend on going to the barbecue in August and the Memorial the day before. And I want to say my heart goes out to all the close friends and family. You know, this has got to be really, really tough for you guys, especially after losing Corey a couple years ago. I mean, it's just devastating. I mean, it's bad for us who are just fans and we knew him and, you know, saw him at shows and, you know, maybe even interacted with him. But for you guys, I mean, that's just, it's something else completely. But, you know, Dave, and I remember back in the days of MySpace, on there they had a section for who'd you like to meet? You know, presumably somebody famous, like, you know, you can meet anybody, who would you like to meet? And on my profile I had put Dave Brockie, but not as a fan meeting an object of his fandom, but as just a regular person, you know, as a fellow artist. Because, and eventually I did get that chance. I mean, I didn't at the time think I ever would, but yeah, you know, as I have, I got to, you know, talk to him and interact with him, you know, as a, you know, just as a artist and shoot the shit and whatnot. And I remember one day, going back 3-4 years, maybe, I don't know, maybe even longer, I had noticed that on Dave's Facebook profile, he started using one of my paintings of him as his profile image, and it floored me, completely shocked me. And I remember feeling so honored. I thought that was amazing, and, you know, I'll show it to you. It's the one that's right here. That's the one. And then it was the first of several different times, because I think he made further artwork of mine into his profile image. And each time I was always honored. And, you know, he's done that for other artists as well over the years. And he was just a really cool guy like that. And it's strange, because most of the years I went to shows, I never thought to even try and interact with any of them. You know, it's like, well, I mean, to be honest, the first several shows I went to, like in the early years, I wouldn't have recognized them at a costume, as I'm sure many people go to shows nowadays wouldn't either. But eventually I did, and got to hang out with them, which is awesome. And I remember I had asked Dave, a while ago I was working on a book called Hell Hippo, and I never finished that book. In fact, I'm doing something completely different with the project. But at the time I had asked Dave to do the foreword for the book, and he agreed to it, which was awesome. I wish I finished the book, but yeah. And then when I had an idea for an interview show, because I became popular on Google Plus for doing speed paintings of people in Hangouts. And I was one of the first several people to get the Hangout on air capabilities. So I had an idea to do an interview show, which I called Speedpaint Hangout Interview Thing. Shit, for short. And I asked Dave to be my first guest, and he agreed, and I got to chat with him for an hour and a half, whatnot. And, you know, that's on my YouTube channel. You can, you know, either search for it yourself, or I'll try and put it in the links below. And I did this painting of him during it. And it was really great of him to do that, and that was like one of the best hangouts I've ever been into, just to be able to just talk to him, you know. And that's all it was, this conversation. It was much more conversation than it was actual interview. And he had started putting me on lists to get into shows, and I remember one time in Brooklyn I was going to go see them, I think at the Williamsburg Theater or Williamsburg Music Hall or something like that in Brooklyn. And he had said he could put me on the guest list, no problem, whatnot. So I went to the venue, and I remember getting to the ticket booth, and they asked my name, and they looked on their list, and I wasn't there, and I'm like, I remember being pissed off at him. Not that I minded paying, it was, you know, just I was expecting to be on the list and whatnot. But, I mean, they undercharge for their shows, so it's not like I have a problem paying for their shows at all. It was the principle of it, so I was kind of annoyed at him. But it turns out he did email me. He did email me well in advance of the show. I was already en route to the venue. I was in the train at the time, and at the time I had no smartphone, so I had no way of accessing the email. But yeah, he did email me to let me know that the venue slashed their guest lists. So yeah, so I was kind of unjustly mad at him. But I apologize for it. I mean, he probably didn't know I was mad at him in the first place. So the last time I got to see Dave was I went to go see Guar at the Starland Ballroom in September, and that's when I got this pass. And stupid me didn't realize what this pass would do. I didn't realize it would get me backstage and with an escort until the opening acts had already started playing. And by that point it was a little late because I didn't want to be in the way or anything. But at that show, I had given Dave an acrylic painting of his beloved bird Peanut, which had passed away, and he seemed pretty broken up about it. So I had offered to do him a memorial painting, which I did, and that's when I gave it to him. And I remember one moment that'll stick out in my memory forever is when they were playing. There's one moment where I think there might have been like an interim between songs, or something was going on, in the main part of the stage there, some battle or something like that. But Odorous was, not in direct action at the time, and he had gone over to the side of the stage that I happened to be on, and he looked me directly in the eyes, and he goes, thumping on his heart, and that moment just like sticks out in my mind, and it will forever. And that's kind of how I'll remember, Odorous is, that moment. And it sucks that I won't be able to see him again. I do look forward to seeing what Guar does in the future. I'm sure as hell hope they continue on and continue to put on kick-ass shows. Yes, they'll be different. I mean, Dave's irreplaceable in that regard. I mean, you can't replace Odorous. But, that doesn't mean, Guar themselves are dead. No. I mean, unless they choose to not to go on. But I'm sure hoping they choose to go on, because I definitely want to continue going to Guar shows, and they kick ass. And I'm sure they'll continue to kick ass. And I look forward to seeing them for many, many, many years. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. And for those of you going, I will see going to the barbecue. I will see you in August. Everybody else, I'll see you tomorrow.